the Afroman. He got sued.
But by 2022, Afroman had traded the limelight for a quieter life in Winchester, Ohio, where he lived, performed locally, and made music on his own terms. He was not, by any apparent measure, a drug trafficker or a kidnapper. Someone, however, had told the Adams County Sheriff's Office otherwise. On August 21st, 2022, the Adams County Sheriff's Office obtained and executed a search warrant on Afroman's home. The warrant alleged suspicion of drug trafficking and kidnapping.
They had a tip. Pause. They didn't do research. They said, oh, we have someone. Let's go in.
Since she recorded parts of it on her phone, and there's also body cam footage. According to Afroman, the deputies kicked in his front door, broke his external gate, cut the wiring on his security camera system, rummaged through his closet, flipped through his CD collection, handled a wad of cash found in the home, and encountered one lemon pound cake baked by his mother. They found no drugs, they found no kidnapping victims, they found no evidence of any crime. They didn't even find the basement torture dungeon the confidential informant described because, well, apparently Afroman's house didn't even have a basement. Needless to say, no charges were ever filed.
Problem is that because it's during a warrant, a normal legal warrant that is valid, they don't have to do anything. They don't have to pay you. They don't have to replace anything as it was during a warrant. It's really a oops situation.
The video now has over 3.7 million views on YouTube.
Pause. That video is because he made a video clip called Lemon Pound Cake. And the reason why he did that video is we're like, hey, you know what? They won't pay me because I went there and I asked. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create content, make a little video about what happened, which was one officer walking around his house, looking at the lemon pound cake, looking like it was delicious. So I'm going to make a video out of that. Oh, the footages, the videos are from the footage that he had on his house, on the cameras. So he made not only one song, but a whole album with the footage of the different officers ransacking his house.
He compared one officer to Quasimodo.
Is it true that Mr. Foreman called you a hunchback?
Yes.
And specifically compared you to Quasimodo?
Yes.
In March 2023, 7 Adams County Sheriff's deputies filed a civil lawsuit against Afroman. The claims included defamation, invasion of privacy, false light, and commercial misappropriation of likeness. They said Afroman used their images without permission and profited off their faces and personas. They said he told lies about them. They said they had suffered humiliation, ridicule, mental distress, embarrassment, loss of reputation, and even threats. One deputy said anonymous people had mailed pound cakes to his workplace. Multiple pound cakes. And what did they want? Nearly $4 million in damages. Afroman's response was immediate. He filed a countersuit. The local judge concluded that for purposes of false light, Afroman publicized false facts about the cops, which would be highly offensive to a reasonable person.
I think he means a diss track.
It's a diss track.
By this standard, any diss track would be grounds, according to this judge, to at least be taken to court, which we see with Drake and
got thrown out.
And Kendrick, and it did get thrown out. But it is funny that we've gotten so far with hip-hop music that now it's literally in the court of law, which is like, when you said that this man takes back shots from horses. I came up with that on the fly because, you know, I spit bars. It's just funny to imagine being in that deposition with Drake and being like, so how was your reputation harmed when you said that, hey, Drake, I heard you like them. And the funny thing is, diss tracks do harm a person's reputation. That's why they exist. They're supposed to make you look bad. But if you get in the rap game, it is what it is.
But that means that a roast could, for you people out at home watching this, it's even much more than a get back from the police. It is. But it's more than that.
You were called Officer Pound Cake by Mr. Foreman?
Multiple times.
And the
case dismissed, he looks like a pound cake. Does he not? Yes. This man looks like he's been in the oven for a hot minute.
Of that name comes from a music video that Mr. Foreman created, correct?
I don't know where he got it at, but...
The Adams County Sheriff laid down my door. Then I heard the glass break.
Pause. Was he nodding a little bit? Am I tripping? Was he not just being a little bit like...
It might have.
Am I crazy? Was it the camera moving, or did it not look like this man was bouncing a little bit like
vibing?
I don't care what y'all say. If y'all do a diss track on me, I ain't vibing. Shit not funny, bro.
As if you wouldn't be the first guy to laugh at the diss track that's about you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
Admit that you with the glasses walking by a lemon pound cake on the counter?
Yes.
But here, he admits the underlying event is real. That's him in the house in the video, walking by the mom's dessert with what a reasonable person might describe as lustfulness. What Afroman added was the label Officer Pound Cake.
Do they have any security footage of him eating the cake?
No,
Oh, fuck.
no, but it doesn't matter.
I was hoping there's going to be a
glanced-
lawyer moment. Did you eat that pancake? You can't handle whether I ate that pound cake or not.
But he glanced at it longingly twice.
Yes,
Lustfully.
lustfully.
Officers from other jurisdictions also call him Pound Cake.
When I walked into the deputy's room up there to talk to them, they all knew me, all knew that I'd been called a thief, lemon pound cake. He has posted my image.
If a lemon pound cake could talk, I believe that would be the voice.
I think he needs to thank Afroman because I just saw security footage, and sir, you've lost some weight. You've held back on some of those pound cakes. But I'm sorry, if other officers are calling you pound cake, that's not defamation.
There's a difference between defamation and affirmation.
Yes. You got a lot of cake on you, all right? It's just not in your ass.
Hey, yo.
It's everywhere.
He sold merchandise, sweatshirts, T-shirts, things of that nature, at all of his venues. Matter of fact, they were for sale at a smoke shop here in town.
This may sound stupid, but I believe it applies to myself. We're not the thinnest people in the world, are we?
Absolutely.
Good for you. Thank you.
And you would agree that how you conduct yourself during a search and everything reflects directly on your reputation?
Absolutely.
You don't believe everything you read on the internet, do you?
No.
You actually probably don't believe everything you read in the newspaper, do you?
No. There again, he made accusations that I smoke weed on there, which I don't.
Rhonda Grooms, a teacher and the ex-wife of Sheriff Deputy Sean Grooms. She was asked whether she and her students were familiar with the Cardi B song WAP. Grooms testified that they all knew the song and nobody took WAP seriously.
Are you familiar with the song Wet Ass Pussy?
Pause.
Yes.
For those who didn't understand, she is the ex-wife of one of the officers. Bringing your ex-wife to testify against you.
It's almost as crazy as having your ex-girlfriend run a TikTok after a documentary. Shout out to Angie. Now hit that play button, baby.
Has your students played it in class?
Once, and I asked them to please turn it off.
Listening to it, did they think that was fact?
No,
So they didn't think that that was depicting anything in real life?
no,
So you didn't have to teach them that wasn't real?
right, no, I did not.
Would you agree it's derogatory towards women?
No?
Even though it says nasty things about them?
Yeah.
Pause. Hey, yo, I'm not gonna lie. She's very progressive with that haircut. For her to hear WAP and say it's not derogatory towards women is probably the most surprising thing in
It's
this
just
whole
opinion. It's just, whatever.
Man, that's just because she got a wet ass pussy right now.
Maybe.
What's even worse, his ex said he wasn't devastated by his portrayal in the video for Lemon Pound Cake. Imagine being able to own your ex by testifying that he doesn't really understand the law and he was lying about being mortally wounded by his song. This was but his own ex-wife testified that he laughed about it. That undercuts one of the key elements of emotional distress, that the harm was real, serious, and severe.
Are you familiar with the song Wet Ass Pussy?
Oh, yeah. Oh, makes my liver quiver. Yes, actually.
Oh, you mean the song, not what I. Okay. So I make sure.
That one of the most harmful things Afroman did was suggest in a song that he had slept with Walter's wife.
He said he had sex with your wife,
Yes.
and that's painted you in a false light.
It's caused tremendous pain in my life.
Walter struggled to say whether the...
I remember growing up, just whenever a nigga pissed me off, yo, I fuck your bitch, you fat motherfucker. Take money. You didn't remember saying that? Yeah. Now, I was 11. I didn't fuck nobody's bitch, if I'm being honest with you. Stop. I'm just thinking, like, I there's so many times and to think somebody else.
Oh, 100%.
Could you imagine Pac's like, fuck your bitch? And then Biggie's like, so, defamation.
100%.
It's like, if Biggie ever did take him to court for defamation, Pac would be in court like, it's not defamation if I fucked your bitch. And from my knowledge of that beef, he really did fuck his girl.
Does it paint you in a false light?
Yes, that my wife is cheating on me with Mr. Foreman.
But we all know that's not true, correct?
I don't know.
That is a crazy thing to answer, my guy. That is a crazy thing to answer. I guess he didn't want to answer, no, it is untrue. Because if it's true, well, wait, because it's a catch-22. So your wife did cheat on you. If you say yes, then it's not defamation because it really happened.
Imagine you're Afroman and you hear the surprise answer. You're sitting there in the defense table. You hear, I don't know. You perk up. You get a little hard. You look back in the stands. You see his wife. She's looking back at him. There's a moment in there where this is almost more embarrassing because they took it to trial.
Yeah. No way. They played the song. They played the...
Something that's bigger than mine.
Nah, shout out to the cameraman for focusing on her. She took down my camera and then she went down on my spouse.
He's laughing even about his spouse. He's not even saying that he messed with a wife's officer. He's saying the officers messed with his wife too.
Defamation.
It's, you know, give and take.
Y'all keep on laughing. She's gonna eat your wife's pussy.
He said, y'all keep on laughing. She gonna eat your wife's pussy too.
Someone in the chat said that, oh, by the way, she was laughing while she was raiding his house. She was. When they cut the camera lot, she was laughing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're doing this and you think you're doing a good, it's all fun and games. That's the reason why I lack empathy.
The first thing I think of is, you know, cops do these raids every day. Mm-hmm. They break down doors, they get the wrong address, they don't compensate you, they traumatize your family, they traumatize everyone, and they walk away and they don't care. They don't give a shit. They don't seem to. The idea that there's no compensation for these things, it's your problem. It's like,
there's no repercussion
crazy.
either.
And
when they mess up, it's part of their job. Oops.
Yeah. And, you know, they can say whatever they want. Oh, you know, it hurt our reputation. Yeah. Trust me, your reputation was already shit. Followed by the fact that everyone else in your fucking office calls you pound cake, my guy. Clearly, even other cops think you're trash, too. Much like Preach, have a little empathy, because I'm like, you guys don't really care about a lot of people's rights when you violate them and you're not held accountable. The idea that you're now going to go after somebody who's had to suffer these damages because they made a diss track on you, go fuck yourself. The standard that we have for people in power is disgusting. We give these people all kinds of immunity. They can't be charged for a lot of crimes because of the fact that they wear the badge and it helps them to do their job. But they want to turn around and file a lawsuit. Hey, bitch.
Whenever we do stuff like that, people are saying, yeah, but they're humans. Yeah, but the people that are doing that too are humans too. That's the reason why we have rights. And you want sometimes to infringe of all those rights because you know there's not going to be any consequences. You don't give a shit. You don't care. That's why you was laughing. You thought nothing would have happened. You thought, whatever. You didn't think that person was a human. You're going there, you're laughing while you're supposed to do your job. It's very unprofessional, but you don't care. You crying while you're watching, like it's go touch grass. It's in the internet.
You deserve to be made fun of the way you guys conducted yourselves during the search. You know, one thing to be looking for this stuff. You guys didn't care. You guys were wrong. You guys didn't find any of the things that you claimed, and you fucked with somebody's life. Now, you can say you guys had a tip or whatever, but the fact that y'all behaved in an unprofessional manner, the fact that you didn't make amends after the fact, no, you don't deserve any sympathy. Get bent. And you know the worst part is, whenever these police departments even get sued, none of them ever have to pay out of pocket. No matter how much fuck shit they do, it's always the tax citizens or the taxpayers that have to pay for their fuck up. So it's just like, you know, sometimes officers will lament their reputation with communities, but I'm like, a lot of that is on y'all too. And I hate this whole thing of like, we always protect our own. It's like, we gave y'all extra powers, gave you all this authority, all this special privilege. Not only do you abuse it, but you also manage to always make sure you escape accountability for a lot of the stuff that you do. It's like, man, I'm glad they lost this lawsuit. If they would have won, it would have been such a joke because it would have just meant that public officials can get away with anything. And if you want to mock them, make fun of them, whatever it is, then they can come after you. I feel like as a customer service rep, I had more standards placed on me than these guys. Let me try to do that. And watch how quickly my fucking department head gonna fire me. And it's on camera, 4K, transcripts and everything. Faces. Watch me get fired.
And before they
get the fuck out of here.
Before they fire you, they're gonna have you. You're gonna have to say sorry, and then we're gonna fire your ass.
Yeah.
Sometimes whenever they say shit like that, it's like, well, I'm just one cop. No, you're not. You're never one cop.
True.
That's why you have something that we call a uniform. You represent something. That's why you can't do certain things in your uniform.
But that's
because you represent the unit. That's why one of you motherfuckers fuck up. He represents the rest of the uniform.
But that's also why you get a certain level of respect when you put on a uniform. Nobody knows who you are as a fucking individual.
Nope.
Nobody knows what you're about. But people have had good experiences with cop, for example, so they attribute that to you. The uniform comes with something. Same thing when you're in the military, it comes with something. When you put on that beret, when you put on that unit badge, when you put on whatever it is, and you're part of a unit, it means something. There's a history to it. So it's not just, I'm just one person. Yeah, but you're part of an ensemble, and that's why you guys gotta hold each other accountable.